Welcome all to my video. Today we're going to be going on Twitter, going on the X Twitter feed of Quit Nicotine. And why do we do these videos? Well, I do all sorts of videos, but I've been doing this format recently where I respond in live time because I'm actually, versus recording a video and waiting for someone to, let's say, click on that video and see it, which is why these videos are here, and that's inevitable. But I'm actually in live time responding to people, seeing what people are saying in regards to nicotine. Eventually we'll open up this topic for other things than just nicotine, or like all sorts of things in life having to do with the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual state of being. And a lot of times I tie into those what is going on here in terms of that, and just responding in live time to people on this platform to be able to get that interaction, that live interaction, to be able to be putting in that work in real time. Hope this isn't too loud. I'll bring it down a bit. Let's just find our first post.
Crossing the street when I met the love of my life. I chased after her. Nothing would stand in my way. Not the dog walker, nor the hot dog vendor. Finally reaching her, I asked, what do you call that amazing smell?
Gay flings.
Gay flings. My love had a name, but more importantly, it had a scent.
Fall in love. Gay flings. Seriously good scent. Gay flings with 50% more precious ingredients versus leading working detergent.
All right, so that took a minute, but you guys, so this person said, hey there, 1 year, 2 months, nicotine free as of yesterday, I'm going to shoot you DM. None of that really matters. They said super proud of you for making the effort. This was in response to someone else. And then my response to them is right there, and I said, I have reached that milestone about a week ago, and the effort to quit is beneficial to the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual states of being. It seems that the time and experience without the addiction is increasingly becoming outmatched by the past experience with nicotine. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that post and move on to the next post that we're gonna get into. And it's true that a lot of the discipline, the hard work that you put into, let's say, getting over any substance or any negative action, is going to pay off, and it's going to benefit you in terms of mentally. That could be giving you a more mental state of being that is more to yourself, whether that be more balanced, or maybe a physical state of being where you're not dependent on a substance to just get by and just get by from your physical day-to-day actions. And that can be emotionally getting over feelings of guilt, regret, or anything that happens to do with and deal with your, let's say, addiction or substance use. And of course, spiritually can benefit your state of being in a way where you know that you're doing everything in your power, in your spiritual power, to stay on the spiritual path and not have it lead towards an end, or not have it go away or down a path that is out of your spiritual power or your hands per se. So I was on quit nicotine. Now I'm gonna go to just nicotine. Someone said, if you're smart enough to see the world for what it is, nicotine helps one from going insane. So this is what they said. It said, smoking nicotine more than doubles your risk of mental illness, new study posted by the New York Post. And then they said, if this is true, then why does everyone smart and interesting smoke cigarettes? Someone said, if you're smart enough to see the world for what it is, nicotine helps keep one from going insane. I don't necessarily think that nicotine can just help one not go insane, because insanity has to do with one's own, inside world of their emotional, physical, and spiritual state of being. And if you're saying, oh, this substance is helping people not become insane, that may be a reality for, like this person said, those who can see the world for what it is. But if you really see the world for what it is, then that means you really see that someone is depending on something outside of themselves to not go insane. Therefore, something outside of them has them rooted in their sane. So they're not really insane, they're necessarily outsane. So I'm going to respond to this and say, Alright, so my response to that is right here. You can just pause it and read it or whatever. But I said, if you think deeply about this, one does not need to depend on an external substance to keep from going insane. That has to do mostly with them relying on something within themselves or something, and therefore they are that way, or something that they are. Versus outsane, being insane, but based on one's dependency to an external substance. So that's my response to that. I said, if you think deeply about this, one does not need to depend on an external substance to keep from going insane. That has mostly to do with them relying on something within themselves and are that way, versus outsane, being insane, but based on one's dependency to external substance. Moving along. But anyways, moving forward on to the next post. We're gonna do a couple of these. A couple more of these. Let's see. Just looking. Interesting. It seems as if the UK government will ban disposable vapes. And I don't necessarily agree or disagree with what they're doing. They're end of the day making that decision for their population, and I think it should be up to each person to decide what they do and what they do not do. And I simply don't think or disagree or agree with that, because I'm not making a judgment on those people who are using these substances, because they're here at the end of the day, and you're gonna do what you're gonna do at the end of the day, because each person is responsible for their own actions. So someone said they don't smoke tobacco, so banning vapes will be the last of my nicotine addiction. And then they're praying, but I'm gonna say Alhamdulillah, which is, I'm guessing, Muslim. So it's some sort of prayer I hear all the time. That is. And so responding to it would be you can pause and take a look at my response. And just basically what I said was, you have that power to quit nicotine yourself. Don't just do it because your government is taking it away. Each person is responsible for their own actions. Power to you. Because at the end of the day, why would I just sit here tearing someone apart where I could sit here judging people all day, but I'd rather empower people and empower people to do what I have done, not root on them, root bad things on them just because they aren't necessarily as aware, they're not in the space that I am mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, therefore, different perspectives. So I'm gonna go ahead and send that off right there and see if we can't find a couple more to respond to and to get into some more discussion. Here we go. This one I'll post first, then I'll show you guys. Looks like there's a little bit of a reflection here. This. But anyways, you can see here, this person said, the devil wouldn't be attacking you so hard if there wasn't something valuable inside you. Thieves don't break into empty houses. And it's true, unless they're trying to get something. And I responded saying, that's not a funny joke. In fact, the devil tricked the whole world into thinking it doesn't exist, a deceiver. And that way you should take care of your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual state of being and then be protected. Was my response to them. Moving along. What is this music right now? I know I just have it on a playlist, but let me switch this. Not on my playlist, but on a public playlist. I'll go ahead and switch. And we'll go ahead and find something to respond to. Fortunately, there's just a lot of nothing good today in this, but regardless of if it's tough or not, we're still going at it. We're still putting in that work, doing that energy work to change the reality. All right, I think that's enough of looking at those posts and whatnot. But at the end of the day, what we can take away here is you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do, and at the end of the day, you gotta be responsible enough to take care of yourself when it comes to mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And those of us that are going to put our emotional state of being, our physical state of being, our mental state of being, and spiritual state of being at the forefront and making that most important are the ones that are going the furthest in life, the furthest in their experience when it comes to finding that being in that right space mentally, being in that right space when it comes to physically, being in that right space when it comes to emotionally and spiritually, and also taking care of that mental state of being, taking care of that physical state of being, taking care of that emotional and spiritual state of being. And if you're not taking care of that, then what do you care about truly? Do you really just care about mentally thinking the way that you think all the time and staying that way till the end? Do you really just think about physically continuing on the same actions over and over again without changing that? Do you really just want to feel your best at all times and not have to deal with ups and downs when it comes to emotionally and how you feel? Do you want to constantly have doubt on your path when it comes to spiritually, and if you are even putting ahead your spiritual state of being in a sense of you're a spirit and a body, and what are you doing to your body? Treating it as a temple, or are you